Good morning, traders. Welcome back to the action. You guys know it's going to be another action-packed week. We got a big one this week, of course. We got not only one major event, but two major events going on. We got, of course, Tesla, as they'll get into their robotics day, their taxi. Dare I say that does Tesla get autonomous right here? We'll see what happened with Tesla. That's on the 10th, but also on the 10th, AMD's AI day. And this is why we've been seeing AMD actually get hot lately. So keep your eyes on the action today. It's going to be one that's going to be interesting. And of course, on Friday, the banks start coming in. The earnings start kicking. So get ready, guys. It's going to be an action-packed week. And of course, this is when we start to pay attention, right? We start moving closer into the last quarter, and it's time to really start seeing things. Will we have a bright October? Will it be a surprising one with the elections? I'll tell you one thing. The volatility out there is exciting, and that means that we have potential to make big trades. So let's get to the action. You guys know where you're at. Let's go take a look into the playbook and see what we can trade today. All right, first up on the playbook, we'll take a look at XLP as we talk about the staples, right? Just to keep it simple, right? Is that we're getting right back into this time where we start to focus on what? We start to focus on the uncertainty in the market, right? And then we're starting to see that the market's actually heading on a little bit of a pullback, it seems like, right? It seems like we just made this attempt to go up on Friday, and look where we're at now, right? So we just got to think, what's going to happen here, right? Are we going to go sideways here? Are we going to pull back here? I think at this point, we got to erase this channel thinking we got to just start all over. Sometimes I like to start things all over right now. And for overall action, this is what I want to point to and really what I'm seeing here, right? So we're starting to see that we've been at this range multiple times. So we've been kind of getting towards this topping action, right? So now we need to start thinking, do we start to approach the upside of this, right? Back towards 575, or will it be an attempt back down? Do the downside action. If it does start to come down there today and we start to break towards, let's say, the 567, we break towards 565 and we're in the correction mode, probably going back here towards the 50 EMA, right? 560s come into play. And that's when I'll be watching XLP. If we start to get that kind of action today. Why? Because look how this looks like it's starting to turn. And I always like looking at these types of patterns. And I know the 1 minute ran out already, but this is the type of pattern that I like to see here. This is called that little bending pattern right here, right? Where you can get that kind of reversal. And now all of a sudden you get a bullish engulfing candle day. If this goes back to 83, all the traders are looking at it. And it's what I call the undercut and rally type of trade, where you break a major support and then you undercut it, then rally with some good volume. We'll see what happens today with the consumer staples. Watch PG, watch Colgate-Palmolive for an idea of what's going on here. Because if those can bounce back, we can start making our way back. Colgate-Palmolive has been on a nice pullback right below the 100 spot. So if there's anything that also looks good here, this one looks interesting, because if it can make its way back above 100 with a good day back to that 9 EMA, that light blue line where you see here, which plays it to 101.26, right back into that spot. And then you have that 100 to kind of bounce off of as a support. We'll see what happens there, and we'll watch to see what happens in the staples. Let's get to the second one as we talk about Pakar, as I've been playing this swing, and full disclosure, still in it here, guys. I'm looking for a good return on this one, and we've been looking for this move for a while, and I was actually playing this multiple ways. I also played this with Cat, right? And then I wasn't able to get that big Cat move, but I said, you know what? Now I need to look for the laggard style play. And this is very important, team. I always call it leaders to laggard style of trading. And I think it's something that a lot of traders miss out on. So a lot of times there's a leader in this space, right? And the relationship you're looking for, is it to lag into some of the unknown names or maybe the smaller plays, right? There's usually one name that takes them all. but that's the truth. Now, Pakar, look at this. We've been looking to see if this gap would fill, right? We created this there, September 20th. Now we're starting to get it up into that spot. And the next line is the trend line approach. That's a move into like kind of the 105 space. I'm just going to call it estimated 105. Then from that point, we can close the gap with a breakout towards 107. Now, as I get to 105, I will be trying to take some profits, as that's going to be already a hell of a good trade there. But then I'll be trying to ride a little bit of a piece back towards that 108. The biggest thing will be not letting it drop back through the 102s once we get through that 104, because that's an important thing. Make sure you're securing the profits, as this is a little bit extended away, as CAT right now is on a pullback and Deer is on a pullback. If these could go green, Pakar can still have it. But if these go big red, you might have to take your money and run. Let's get to the third one here on the playbook. We'll get to AMD. And of course, they do have their AI day. And I was trading this on Friday. I had a really nice trade on that. Not going to be mad about it. Could have maybe held it on a swing action, right? But it was a good trade. It pulled back there, continued going all day long, and looking good this morning, already up there to the 172.14. And why is this? Talk about AMD's AI day. And it did break a long-term trend line, giving it what? Not only a story approach with the catalyst coming through of the AI event, but also now you include here a technical breakout. Well, hey, that has traders with all eyes goo goo gaga on AMD. So watch out there, guys. We'll be seeing this make the move. Will it get through the 180? Can it get to 200? We'll see. I think that this was one that could really kind of break out. Big reason why is that AMD loves to do sweeps. What I mean by sweeps is that it makes a lot of quick moves up and then pulls back. Quick moves up, pulls back. The same thing it does on the downside action. It's pretty wicked in the price action. That's one thing I will tell you guys. When it takes off really quickly, and then it also comes back down in a hurry. So what's the hourly on this one to give you advantage? That's how I went after it on Friday. I went off of Thursday's resistance, looking for it to play as support. This could be the same way today. So maybe looking for a 169 attempt on AMD will be something to watch for pullbacks. All right, guys, that's going to do it for on the playbook action today. I hope you guys enjoy the playbook. Every day, I take a look into the market, try to look for some plays and think about the variables, right? The story, the technicals, the fundamentals. And then, of course, don't forget that the overall market runs a lot of what's going on right now. And when the VIX is heightened, that's even more of a strong saying, right? So keep your eyes on that action there. Of course, we'll be watching the VIXy to see what happens today. Will we get continued downside action? VIX taking off last week. We really got a nice move right back. So the question here will be playing, if you look at the weekly, right, we can easily make like a pullback back down towards like 1260s. So that's the thing that I could see also. And if that happens, of course, that's a nice positive week. I don't think about things in one way. I always got to be having both scenarios in my mindset. I think that's very important for all traders to do. Don't just be a bull. Don't just be a bear, but think about it, how the bulls and the bears are thinking and seeing it, right? So if I was a bull and I was looking for the VIXy to break out towards the 15, what would I be looking for? Well, need to take this last week's high, right? That's a move back up there towards 1365. But I see this trend line approach that it could come back to, and that's a pullback towards 13. That's going to definitely make sense today. You're already down towards 1330s. Now the question is, will you come back a little bit further back towards that 1250 where you got the 9-week EMA? We'll see what happens there, and something to keep an eye out for. Of course, that's going to be here on your VIXy. Sorry about that. Didn't have the chart too much up there. But look, this is the biggest thing to watch right now. Watching action like this off the VIXy to see what happens there. This is going to give us a big sign in what happens this week. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us on the playbook action. Let's go ahead. Let's bring you guys over to the live show. I can get into some of the sunrise. There isn't too much to talk about there. A lot of ratings right now don't really matter too much to me. So let's kick things off right into today's show. Let's see what we got today and see what Money Mitch can come up with this week.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's going on, my friends? How we doing out there? Pinkies on up, everybody. Who's ready to get to the action? Who's ready to take a swing this week? I don't know about you guys, but you guys know I've been trying to really take some swings and stepping up on the sizing game, which is very hard. It's not easy, guys. So I'm excited to get to the action today. Let's go take a look at the action right now and what's going on in the market, what we can find and what we can come up with. Of course, guys, like always, you guys can tell me any stock that you guys are looking at in the market, and I'll take a look to see what I can come up with, right? So let's see what's going on. And of course, I will say right now, guys, this morning, I am a little bit more like an open book right now where you guys can ask me any question on any stock because right now I got a lot of things going on. Of course, you guys know the hurricane is heading pretty close towards Florida now already as I'm going to be probably heading out, but focused on kind of getting some trades today because it looks like I'll only be able to maybe trade 2 days, maybe this week or something like that. But we'll find out what happens there. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely looking at the market right now to make some trades because if you guys remember, I do have my main account, which is running out on the time to make the profit. Of course, I got to get up there towards like 7,800. I got 2,500. Need a little bit more cash, so definitely got to make some cash to do it. So the only way to do that is to take some shots, and we can continue to do that this week. So look forward to looking for some trades. AMD is definitely going to be one of those to look for. Biggest thing for me is going to be looking for that hourly long pullback because playing up here is going to be very hard on AMD. But like we talked about the market, will we get that pullback? We already got the 4 a.m. pullback where they just kind of started down. Look how they're starting to bring it up already. We're starting to bring it right back to that 571. I'm going to actually look for another takedown here in the pre-market, maybe a little pullback here towards 50, 70, 25s. It's going to be a little bit of a shake, but it doesn't matter. Even it could come right back up. Truth of the matter is that we're just going to be watching to see where do the levels go now, because we've been in a little bit of a chop, both back and forth. We were down there to that 567, really looked like we were going to break down, and now we're starting to climb back above the 9 EMA on the daily. So keep your eyes on that action. That's going to be an important level today, 569.87. So 569, I would round it up to 569.70. So 570, just keep it simple, right? 570, if we can hold 570, you're not looking too bad. You can see this morning we broke right underneath that. Will we go back to that level? I think that's a level to watch today. All right, guys, we can watch Tesla. Tesla already coming back in the pre-market. It was down there towards the 248. So look at the little spike we got there back towards 251.75. And this one could make another move right here in the pre-market. I think that if we're having a bullish day, yes, Tesla still makes sense right now. We're still days away from the event. And with that being said, now is when you start to see the whole media, everyone just start to bring it up, that they're all excited about the Tesla event. And then what happens? Yes, you will get those investors that don't really know about trading, and they're going to come in here and they're going to come and try to trade it. Now that means, could we get a third attempt towards 263? I think that makes sense here. I think before the event, we still have the potential for this to be green. So if we do have a green day and we start to get that nice little breakout, let's see if we can make a run into this area, right? So we've talked about the gap zone that we already played, and that was a really good call there. Created that on September 5th, updated it on the 12th, and look at her go. She definitely made it up there. Now we'll just kind of erase this because it's no longer a gap that we need to focus on. It's already been cleared, right? So we got to erase some of this middle area because that's not going to matter now. And we got to start to take a look at this in a little bit further back, right? So the action completely, I can even erase this action here as we did break out from the little trend line there. But now we start to make double attempts to the upside, right? And you can see this on the weekly. So on the weekly, it's going to help because it's going to look like a cup and handle there on Tesla, right? So here's like that big cup. Do we approach the high here or do we pull back towards the 240s? Those are the two plays. And I always love it when it's right in the middle because that's how a lot of the times it is. It's right in the middle, right? Do we pull back to the 240 again or do we take the 265? I think both of those plays are going to be in play this week. Now, the only question is, do they keep buying the rumor and then sell the news? That's what I think could happen here. An actual move back towards 240, 264s before the event on Thursday. And then all of a sudden, chapow right back down after the event. That's how it's been a lot of the times when Tesla has these event days. I think about it with the semi-truck. I think about it with the Cybertruck. It was a run to the event, run even the day of the event, and then it was a sell to you a lot of the times the day right after. So that's where it gets difficult. But I'll be watching to see if Tesla can start to go back here, make a move into the 252. It could already do this in the pre-market, start going towards that 252, and then really have the motors going towards 256. So that's in play today. I'll be watching it, guys. I feel like this is one that we got to do looking for quick trades on Tesla. So you can see here on the pre-market, I'm going to the 1 minute and going a little bit tighter. And now we start to play kind of a little bit of a rule of three game here. And we start to pull back, right? We see this first pullback area. This would be my first pullback area. I wouldn't focus too much on this. It's a little bit of a smaller pattern there, trying to play within. This is kind of that second resistance, right? And so now we're starting to get kind of that play where we're getting that resistance. I'd be looking for a move right back into this spot, this 250.90. I don't want to play it too much up here because I get caught in the middle. So I'd like to see it come back to this spot there and then take the 240s or the 250s, 251.50s. But once it goes back to the 251.60s, it's going to be something to watch for a run to that 252. Will Tesla make it? Find out, guys. Find out. All right, kind of catching up with you guys in the chat. What's going on? How we doing? Stay safe. I will, man. I will. I'm going to probably be taking the family up north, heading somewhere up north, far away from the hurricane. But that means a lot of driving for me. And you know, you guys know how I have it. I have the dogs. I have the twins. So got to rent a big old van and ride up there. And not even a regular van. I got to go for the bigger one. I need one of those Ford Transits. But how we doing, Shane? What's going on, man? Looks like you got a question here about the account. Let me take a look so I can read this right. All right, quick question, Mitch. I've got 2.8 thousand to make in 5 days this week to reach my eval target. Any advice on how to get across the line? Size up and keep stops tight? So this is as good of a question as it gets, Shane. You know this because I've been struggling myself on the size up game. And the big thing is I'm very near your level too. You're at 2,800. Well, I got very similar days to make it. And I'm at 25. I think I was at 28, but I got a little excited on Friday. But look, I got you, my friend. We're in the same boat right now, and we got to make our way, right? So what can we do? Well, we need to think about this as, okay, well, the truth is we might not have every single day green this week. Ooh, that's something that it's hard to take. But the truth is that's the truth, right? It might not be green every single day this week. So what do we got to do? We got to swing hard and protect on the stops, right? So the big thing is also not trying to show our hands too early, right? And that's the hardest thing with sizing is that when you start to go bigger sizing, what do you start to do? You start to protect a little bit more. You start to run to the profits just a little quicker, right? You stop, you do your stop just a little tighter. The truth is the stops need to be around the same that you would do with the smaller size, but you need to be able to handle that much of money going up and down. So one of the things I would say is we also got to keep in mind our daily loss limit, right? 1,300, right? Probably I'm thinking is the account that you're talking about, Shane. So you can let me know if that's the same account as myself. And so what I'm thinking in this case is, all right, so I have 1,300 on the loss side. So what do I need? I'm going to think about it in the competition. The way that I was thinking about it in the competition, I need a cushion. I need to try to make $1,000 today so that I could essentially have that $1,000 in the green and then the $1,300 to then take bigger risks to make the money that I need to make today. Because if I can make $2,000, $3,000 today, we're in there. We're looking good. So that's what I'm thinking. $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Because the truth is, there might be one day this week that I get a $1,300 hit on the downside. So if I can make the $3,000 daily or $2,000 daily, I can take some hits on the downside of 1,300, and we can just shake it and come back the next day, right, Shane? So that's the way I'm thinking about going after this. This is not going to be easy. This is going to be about sizing quickly. And then the idea for me, at least, what's been playing well is starting a smaller position, right? Watching the position maybe go down a little bit below my position if I'm long, right? Then as it starts to come back, I need to know the breakout level above. On that breakout level, I need to go ahead and take the swing. And I don't want to take the swing in one swing. I want to probably add to a decent sizing, watch that level break out, right? And then watch that next level pull back to that breakout spot. Then take the sizing there and then hold break even, right? But that's the hardest thing is when do I add that sizing on the breakout? And once it gets to that breakout, we really need to kind of create a stop that's right below us to protect us, as now we're exposed and we need to go and take a swing. So the biggest thing is, how do I save my exposure, wait to that moment that I really want to take that exposure into the trade, and once I am exposed, protection first. Because this is what's going to happen is, yes, you might get cut out of a trade or two. But if it goes in your direction, you have big size, right? And you're going to make a big trade in the green. And just that alone should be able to push you into, let's say, $600,000, $1,000 trades, right? That's what I'm looking for now in one trade to make the $1,000, right? Because if I can do that, then I can stack up to 2,000 to 3,000, right? So we'll get after it, Shane. That's enough conversation on that. Of course, not everyone's going through the same situation you as I are going through, but we're trying to make it. So let's do it, man. All right, let's get after it. Let's go get that money. All right, so you only got 2,800 to make. Okay, so you're in a lot better position than I am, Shane. So if anything, I would be thinking about that in the perspective, okay, so if it's 2,800, right, all I need to do is make what? Well, 5 days. I'm not going to be green every day. Divide that by 4 and try to make sure that you have at least the potential to take one red day this week, right? Think about it like that, right? What do you normally have, right? 5 days, 600 a day, right? 600 a day is the way that it would have to be. So I would actually shoot for 1.5 of that, right? So let's say if it's 600 a day, maybe you're shooting for 900 a day, because there could be a day where you're red, and that red day should be about half of this. So if I'm shooting for 900, maybe 450s on the red day, and then all I really need to do in this case is hit 3 green days, and I can hit 2 red days, things like that. What do you normally have? If you normally have 2 red days, already think about that in your calculation, and that should help you, Shane. Because that's just the way it is, right? Like I normally think about it too. I'm going to have probably 3 green days, 2 red days this week. That's just the way it normally works. Will there be weeks where I go all green? Yes. There ain't going to be a week that I'm going all red, though. Don't be telling me that. It can always happen, team. That's what the most important thing is. Looking Tesla right back into that wick zone. So there it is. So this is the biggest thing about watching for the kind of like rule of 3 playing out, because the truth is now we're noticing that the wick is part of this support, and now the support is down here, but it's actually down all the way down here. I wouldn't be struggling too much about buying it too far down there. And you can see how it quickly comes back there. It's finding some buyers down there at the 250.50 spot. So someone doesn't want to let it go through that 250.50 spot. So that's something to think about, right? So now we have resistance 1, support 1, resistance 2, support 2. It could come back really quickly to this 251.27 and then start to build a support, but a support above this support. I'll look for the support to start building around the 250.80s and 251s near the bell and watching for that 252 breakout. But I like this the way the Tesla's trading right now. Even I could trade it right back up there, and it's not too big of a spread. A lot of times with Tesla, it's not the biggest spread, right? Right now, it's only a 14-cent spread there for me if I want to come after it, and it tightens up a little bit. So it's not a bad way to come after it. And look at that little turnaround already. That's a nice little 30 cents turnaround. Now, one thing to remember with Tesla is the ATR. And don't forget that, right? In an hour, Tesla can easily move $1.74 right now. And historically, just even a couple of days ago, this was moving $4 in an hour. So with that being said, know the sizing that I want to play it if I'm going to play Tesla. All right, guys, how we doing out there? It's good to see you. What's up? China stock. Let's do it. Let's take a look at the China stocks. GSIW. All right. Garden Stage Limited. A lot of wicks on this thing. Wicks are tricks, but I'll say, right? So the tricks seem like they're on the upside. And so you got to be careful about buying the breakout. When I see that, that's what that warning tells me, right? Another thing that tells me this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to break out. Well, you need to break out unless you want to fail here. So fail back down below 210s, $2. I would think this stock is done. But it could hold right now, this 230, and maybe make one more attempt for this 250, 60 breakout towards 3. Let's see what happens here. Daily charts look ugly on this thing. I don't know what this thing has done. Maybe it's reverse split or something. But it was up there towards $8 just limited to go. So let's see if it can go back towards that 250. That's going to be the important spot, 249. We'll see if it gets through there. 235 right now, trying to get back up there on Garden Stage Limited. And definitely trying to do that kind of bottoming. This is another way of looking for the rule of 3. And I'd love to give the rule of 3 and show you guys it consistently so you guys know that I don't just, talk about it. So you see bottomings here. 1, 2, 3. And then normally what I'll do is I'll think, okay, there's 3 attempts to break the support and break down. Look for that 4th attempt to be an attempt breakdown reversal. So it looks like it's about to break down even on the price action. This is important if you're watching the price action. Looks like it's going to break it down, and all of a sudden it starts coming right back up. Just like that, literally. The price action down, up. And that's exactly what's going on here in GISW. So you get this 4th attempt breakdown, you go towards the breakdown support, and then really quickly, it looks ugly here, probably at 227 with the bid at 226. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 it starts coming right back. That's a triggering the stops kind of thing where the market makers take that money too. And so this is one thing to look at. Now that you start to reverse out of that, you want to see, can it hold the trend line approach that it broke out of that? So you can see here that this is trend line approach reversal. Now you get that action. I'd look for that to hold, right? I'd want this to hold now, this 232, 231 area, and not break down back into that area. If you break back down into that 228, you can take it out on the downside. So now I'm looking for pops to 245s and 250s to come into play. But not my type of stock. I'm trying to stay off of these, but we'll see what happens. LG, MK, and definitely could make my money that I need in these bigger, these smaller names, but it's a little tough one. Do you watch level 2 to decide on that one? Yeah, you could definitely watch it if there's a wall. Let me see if there's anything there on this one. All right, so we're going to go to GSIW. Let's see if there's anything that's showing up there. And there's a little wall, 5,100 that's showing up at 244. And that seems to me more like someone that has like a stop buy maybe, or a stop a limit, trying to get out, just hanging out there. They got caught on the washout. So look for that 244 to get taken. Another thing that I look for, and right now I have it right here and you guys can see it. So a lot of times with the time and sales window, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a fun thing to look for and start to use. It's up to you guys to determine if you like this. But what I like to do is, you see how that sizing there is 2,800? Well, I only want to see the bigger orders. So I actually filter out here on the size by 999 because I don't want to see none of that arithmetic or algorithmic volume where it's like 100 shares just trading 1, 2, 3 shares. That doesn't move stocks often. Now, when you start to throw thousands of shares at stocks move. That's just the truth. And so that's what I like to pay attention to, and I even signal it by that. And if you really want to take this to the next level, and that's one thing I definitely tell you guys to do, is look into the settings, and you can go into the color, and you can even do what's called a coloring row. So you can actually do a color scheme for showing up anything that's above 1,000 shares, anything that's above 10,000 shares, anything that's above 20,000 shares, 50,000, 100,000 shares. If you see 100,000 shares go through, trust me, that's going to move a stock. So one of the things that I would recommend is looking into this so that you understand not only level 2, but when that volume is actually showing up on the time and sales. Very important. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look. And trust me, that color scheme thing, that can really help you, because then you're just looking for a color to show up. Oh, there's a buyer. Boom. And I can at least have some like tape why I'm going in, right? Another variable to add in my conviction of the trade. All right, let's keep it going. And there you guys see it. And that's why I like to do it. And I really could care less about that smaller volume. It definitely doesn't help me. It just hurts me. It just makes me look like there's a bunch of volume being bought, but really it's just 100 shares at a time. And there's not much being bought at that time. And it could be like buys and sells, like right back and forth. So you don't notice that action because it's so quick. Right now, you can see it. Tried to make this down attempt. And another thing that we've looked for is, right, no more a down attempt through that 230s and 231. So you might get a wick here towards 231, but I wouldn't want to see it even close back below that. I'd want to see that attempt start to go back here towards this 238s quickly with some volume. And another thing is you're seeing how the volume's been dropping off, right? So as we get this 245 move, you should get some good volume, something that like similar to this volume pop that was similar last time. So I'd want to see, let's say 86,000 shares or 80,000 shares traded to show me that it wants to take it back to that high. We'll see what happens on GSIW. Pets Z is another Chinese stock. This is think kind of more into your pets, and kind of this is a known like kind of runner. Also, I've seen this thing run before. Hourly has this back down towards like kind of the 250, 260 spots. It is trying to load up. It's trying to like kind of gain some volume and get ready. So I'd keep this one on the alert. I wouldn't like kind of forget about it, but for right now, it's definitely trying to like kind of reload, maybe try to make a move to $2 eventually and make a push back towards like 250. A lot of these China names are going to be hard to play, though. I will say that because a lot of them are low float. IVP, another very small, tiny play that could make a run to like maybe 50 cents today. That's like 20 cents away. I could see that maybe happening. I could see the volume that's been loading in it. It's been making these like quick little peaks. So one thing to do, another thing that I see and not a lot of traders do, measure the flag. And so measure the up action. So 14 cents on the first pop. Second pop brought what? 17 cents. 3 cents more. So maybe I can get 3 cents more from the pop there. So if I saw 17, 14, right? Well, I'm going to think maybe I can get 20 cents on the pop this time. That brings the stock to right there, 51 cents. So that's the way I look at it also. So I'm not just thinking about it just like randomly. I'm actually using the chart to tell me what the pops kind of are going. And if we can get just a little bit more expanding pop, where I think it could go to. All right, let's keep going. Another way to do that is to look for the breakout signal and use the flag, right? And the breakout signal would probably be above this flag, right? above this kind of trend line. And so if I measure that flagging pattern, it's going to be about 17 cents. So 17 cents from the breakout around, let's say 37 or 36, right? Where would that get me to? That's another way of measuring the breakout, right? Let's say the stock breaks out around this 36, 17 cents is going to put it where? 53 cents. So ways to kind of use technicals to tell you where the stock has potential to go. CAPR, biotech here. Let's take a look here. This one's been ripping. Therapeutic stock just continuing to hit here. 1, 2, 3 highs, right? So now we're definitely getting towards the point where we're at like kind of like the final hurrah, I would say, where you could still make one more attempt towards the upside and make a nice little break. So now we start to take a look to see, do you keep going through highs, right? So one thing I'd look at is this making hourly long pullbacks? Yes. And so on the first pattern, and I'll make this big so you can see this. I think it's important. All right, guys, it's 9:08. We're looking through a lot of different stocks. Keep them going in the chat, guys. This is what's going to help me keep bringing some different plays and help me really break down some plays today. You can see it here, right? So this was in an hourly long consolidation. It kind of went sideways, eventually broke a trend line, broke higher, right? Then it breaks out there towards 13, then does an hourly long pullback to support, goes through a long sideways consolidation, trend line break to the upside. Then goes up, pulls back to the support, trend line break, back to the upside. And this is what I mean by trend line break, just so I can draw one out here for you. So you can see how you're having this sideways action, and then eventually you go for that break on the trend line, and then you go for the next move, right? Same things, the same pattern's been happening. So what do I expect? Well, I look for the same pattern, right? That's what I gotta look for. Pullbacks towards support, prior resistance. So prior resistance here became support. So I look at, where's the resistance here? Well, the resistance is right around here. So we're right off of this 21, and this one could go back to the support and maybe even test this support here. So the buy zone for CAPR for me would be below 21 towards 1950. And that needs to hold and then come back after some sideways consolidation to break 2280s. So that's the way I'd be looking at it. We'll see what happens on CAPR. And this is one way to look at a lot of stocks, guys. Looking for those hourly long pullbacks and looking for that next drive to come into play. All right, let's keep it going. We'll see what else is out there. And if you guys got a trade you guys are looking at, let me know. Let's go ahead and take a look at different stocks. I am definitely watching AMD today. You can see it's already hot. Of course, their AI day is going to be on the 10th at 12 p.m. Got to see when, I think Tesla's is after hours, but SPY continuing to climb here. Let's take a look here on the 5-minute, see how it's been working the last couple of minutes. And you can see got a little slight pullback, but quickly bought up there. So that's going to help the Tesla move start to work back. Let's see if Tesla can make this up move here. All right, Tesla kind of hanging out here, guys, right at the bottom here. So it looks interesting here that it starts to approach here. And I'm just going to be watching these zones as it develops. And I might want to trade some Tesla today myself. I'm telling you one thing. AMD Tesla is going to have traders trading it. So can we make money on AMD and Tesla? Definitely could. All right, we got some list here, my man. Par going after it. AMD, PFE, ARM, Amazon. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at those. And there's some news on some of these. So we'll go to Pfizer first. Let's go look at Pfizer. So I have some news for you. Let's take a look. Of course, I always try to talk about these with the Sunrise Report, but today I've been a little bit, crazy with the hurricane and stuff. So Pfizer is seeing its stock rise almost 3% after reports that the activist Starboard, of course, took a $1 billion stake in the company, aiming to turn around its recent struggles. So this is actually pretty good. Pretty good news, guys. So I like activists, and there's only two activists that I like. I like Elliott and Starboard. Those are the two that I really kind of pay attention to. And I think that they really kind of can make a kind of board changes and things like that where it can really affect things. So I already had Pfizer on the radar prior to this. And now we've been getting more and more like these random volume pops. When you're seeing random volume pops in a stock like this in Pfizer, this is something to know, because the truth is this stock has no business collecting this amount of volume, right? So normally you see volume accumulation in a stock that is ripping towards the upside. Like let's say Nvidia, right? When it was going towards the upside, it started doing like new volume records, right? Like you can see here how the volume was dying off in 2021 and then volume increased into that breakout, right? So in this case for Pfizer, this is actually really good news that you keep getting more and more volume down here. In my eyes, I don't think it's people running away from the stock. It's probably people running to the stock, thinking that at some point they get things right and they start to turn things around. So in this case, I'd keep an eye on Pfizer. I actually like this stock a lot right now on this outlook here. So we'll be watching to see if it can make the move, right? It's already on an hourly long pullback. We'll watch to see if it breaks a break for the high above the 2095s, going towards like 2070, 2968 is the high right now, but I would look for a nice little clear take towards 30. So that's what I'd be watching for on Pfizer. It's already up on the daily, so be careful for pullbacks to that 29. But looks interesting as it starts to approach for a breakout. And of course, when the banks start getting it watched, something to look at, right? We'll see what happens there. All right, SHOP, we'll definitely take a look at it. We'll take a look at it in a second. Let's take a look here. ARM. ARM has been hot as of late too, and it's not a bad one to watch here. I like the weekly outlook here. Let's erase some of these lines. Let's start all over here for ARM. Let's do the daily first. So daily, you can see these trend lines keep holding. So that's one thing to make sure that we hold and recover. So you can see how this is holding really well. If this breaks this, watch out for a quick undercut and rally. But for right now, that's a really strong line there for ARM. So I would also draw from this top peak back through these right here to draw it in this kind of wedge pattern. So this wedge is going to be important for it to break on the upside. But if it can break that on the upside, really nice looking pattern, especially for like a swing trade, if it can get up in this spot, right? So try not to trade it too early, because if I long right there and then it just goes down through 120, I feel like a little bit of a duck buying, you know. Just one of the things that I've been learning more and more in my career is waiting a little bit for the first move. You don't got to wait like insane amount, but at least give yourself the potential where the candle is like up here for this breakout on the 150. Then I can play it, right? Because it's already looking good, right? And then I can add through that 160, 170 if it's looking great, right? This is the way that I'm starting to try to swing trade a little bit more and get after it. But ARM looking interesting back through that 150. Would need to break through, of course, Friday's high. And really the high that you're looking at is Tuesday's high. 144.40 or 39 right now is a very important high to try to attempt to break today. And I'd be watching it. On the hourly, you can see it right here. A lot of rejection into this 142. So clear into that spot. Go towards 144, 144.40s, 146, and you're showing you're breaking all that bearish to the left, right? You want to get rid of all this bearish action the last couple of days. Not a bad one to watch there. All right, and we'll do one last one from you. Let's do Amazon here. And you guys can always throw up stock. If you're watching this on Twitter, dude, how do you do it? Just come over to the YouTube side of things right here on Trade the Pool, of course. Amazon, will it break through? Will it go down here? It's been not looking strong. It was looking all strong, coming back, and then all of a sudden, boom, last 3 weeks on a quick little pullback. So can it reload here and clear back above the 9 EMA and get above 190? That's one area to definitely watch. Amazon normally does good, especially towards the end of the year. And another thing that it has for it is an Amazon Prime Day, and I think the Prime Day starts just this week. And so that's one thing to look at. Another thing, though, to think about is the competitors are coming at Amazon with Walmart doing the very similar deal and Target doing the deal days also. They're both having sales to go ahead and compete against Amazon's second Prime Day of the year. So we'll see what happens there with Amazon. Can it continue getting the lift? And I did think I have some news here on Amazon. Let me see if I got something here. Yeah, Amazon dropping nearly 2% after Wells Fargo downgraded the stock to equal weight from overweight. The firm expressed concerns about slowing growth and increasing competition, particularly from Walmart. Yo, tell them to stop watching my show, man. These analysts, man, they're watching my show. Wells Fargo, stop stealing my stuff, man. All right, no, but yeah, definitely, guys. The competition's coming for Amazon as Walmart continues to battle against it. Of course, they got a lot of customers, right? So we all know how many people shop at Walmart. You out there, do you guys have Walmart Plus? Let me know in the chat. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Let's take a look what else is out there. The Qs starting to come back here. 480s, 490s is going to be the level to watch this week. Let's look at the hourly to kind of take a look a little bit closer towards this. You can see, and one thing to say, and I always say this, a trend line is not a trend line unless it has 3 points. And so 2-point trend line is not really something to kind of fuss about, right? But something that I'll be watching this week, right? So we got to keep a watch to see what happens with the action. Back down below 480s, and we're in a concern period for the Qs. Other than that, you're just looking to try to get back above this 488. Forget that trend line. It's just this 488 that we're looking for. Back up above that, and we can start making an approach back towards the 493. So those are your two main resistance, right? I'd focus on those as being main resistance. Of course, you got intraday resistance, but what I'd be watching is when can we approach these two lines? These are the bullish lines on the upside. Downside break is back through the 480s. That's when we get a little bit concerned, and we can go back on the Qs. So right now, it's still looking like it wants to climb right back. We'll be watching to see the action towards the bell. Tesla on the radar, of course. I'm talking about that one. And look at it going. It's already dropping through that level. So support not being able to hold. So at this point, that 1 minute pattern broken. And now you start to look at deeper time frames to see, can it hold the support of a 5 minute? And that's into this area, the 249.50. If it lets go there, this pattern is completely broken. So we'll see what happens there in Tesla as it pulls back. And look at the choppy action from 8 p.m. from the morning and this morning in Tesla. All right, let's take a look what else out there. You got eyes on CBEL. I'll take a look at that. Is that CYBL? Let me take a look here. Sorry, just got to put it a little bit bigger. Can't see it a little bit there. There we go. All right. CYBL. Sorry about that. All right, CyberLux Corp. Definitely don't have eyes on CyberLux Corp. But I mean, maybe in a really good day it can get to 8 cents. I don't know, man. This one's a hard one, Roberto. What you trying to do to me, man? Maybe it gets to 8 cents. That's what I can see. Maybe in a really good day, it gets to 8 cents. Hey, but that's 80% away, right? It hasn't been pink forever. We'll see. Shop. Can it keep going? Let's take a look at that. Nando, I got you, man. Sorry about that. Shopify. Shopify has been hot, man. This is the one that I'll tell you right now. I always saw this one at like 45, and I was like, man, it's such a nice buy. It's such a nice buy. I was watching this thing like go to 45 multiple times, and it finally broke out of it. And I got this final opportunity here when it came in October of last year. And I always thought that was a great opportunity. And boy, oh boy, I got another opportunity here close to the 45 in, of course, August for Shop. Shop is one that I'd like long term. Overall, this is truly going to compete with Amazon. So if you're thinking of one that will compete with Amazon, it's Shopify. And I think in the long run, I think this is one that I definitely want an investment of. You know, a lot of times we think about what are the companies that are going to be the next company, the next one. This could be one of them, right? In full disclosure, I got no piece, Nobody's paying me to say that for Shopify, just the way that I feel about it. Next layer for Shopify is 91. A breakout attempt through 85 this week could happen. So that's what I'd be watching for. Continuation back through that 85. We'll see right now. Can it hold the resistance? Look for attempted takedowns below the 81 today towards 80, 85. I'd be watching that. But right now, looking pretty decent. Just got to watch it pull back. I would look for that pullback, strong pullback, and then strong move right back through 82. Looks good. If not, quick breakout to 83 or 84 is in play there for Shopify. I like to play, watching for pullbacks into that spot, maybe even this resistance here on the 15-minute. So putting it closer towards a pullback of 80-70 and then a comeback through 82s. And the good thing about this one, it will be moving, maybe like $1 or $2. Doesn't look too bad there. 15 minutes has about 36 cents moving an hour, about 62 for a daily. You're talking $2.30. Not bad on Shop. All right, taking a look. What else out there? ARK. What is this? Let me see that one here. Oh, SRRK. All right. Oh my God. What is up with this thing? Scholar Rock Holding Corporation. Oh, this is a SPAC. So this is a SPAC, guys. So these things love to open up there, and they'll open up expensive, and then they'll drop like a tank. So I might watch this for a quick short. I mean, this is also rip, right? I mean, to tell you the truth, this is going to be a stock that's going to be scary play. But hey, I'll watch it, man. I have no idea about this company. Let me take a look a little bit here. Let me see what I can find on it really quickly. SRRK. It's 9:24, guys. We're getting ready for the bell here. Smash the like if you guys are excited as I am, ready to take a look to see what we can come up with. This is Scholar Rock Holding shares are trading higher after they announced top-line results in their Phase 3 Sapphire clinical trials, evaluating the efficacy and safety of, I always love the drug names, apitegromab. I have no idea. And it looks like in patients with SMA. So it reached its primary endpoint. It got halted, right? I mean, JP Morgan had put this thing at a lowered price target of $18. We're trading at 25 here. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Promising results. Can this continue going? It's going to be something to look at. This thing was halted at $7. Looks like it reopened this morning. This is going to be something to look at today, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Richie Rich, bringing in the rich stock. Only question is, how do we trade this thing? It sounds like it's going to be a good med to take. We'll see, man. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it, man. Something to look at. You can't trade options on Trade the Pool? No, unfortunately, you can't, man. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad. I'm not an options trader, man. I'm not an options trader. Even though I took some advanced derivatives courses in finance classes, it's just not my thing, man. All right, here's SRRK going for that 26 break already above the trend line here. I like it if it gives me a pullback opportunity, right? So you can see how it broke out above this, right? I'd like a quick pullback to 25.50s, 25.45s, then look for the rip. I hate always buying that first breakout because it's just scary, but hey, we'll see what happens. Bollinger Band expanding here. You're reaching the top end. Let's see if it pulls back wickedly or takes off to 27. Let's see it here. 26.40s already, guys. And look at the wicked move there. Wicked indeed. That was about $1 move in about a millisecond there, guys. Oh, man, this is going to be a hard one to trade if you trade this thing. Yeah, this is an account maker and account breaker. So if you're that type of guy, well, SRRK might be up your alley today. Well, there goes my level. 25.40s pullbacks, 25.50 pullback, looking for the quick pullback for the breakout. Would have got that there. Already up to 26.20s, Does it just go for the break on 27s? Sometimes I can call something and can't trade it. Do you guys feel like that happens to you, traders? Let me know. What do you guys think about that? No, we got about two or 3 minutes before the bell, but what do you guys think about that? Can you guys sometimes call trades but not trade them? It's interesting, right? All right, let's take a look here. We'll go through that 27. So the big thing for me was the 9 EMA pullback there. So whenever I get like breakouts above a trend line, a breakout, so I always look for quick pullbacks to the 9 EMA and then quick sweeps back to show me conviction. And a lot of times on that candle, I want volume, and volume did come in on that. So it's interesting there. It has potential. So now I wouldn't want it to break the 9 EMA. So I can use the 9 EMA essentially as like my stop, right? So it can come back to it, but I wouldn't let it break it. So in this case, it's 25.73. Maybe I got to stop at 25.70s, which would put a stop into the green, right? If you got 25.50s on the pullback. Things like this is the only way I feel like you can play a play like this and still remain in control. That's the hardest thing with SRRK. And another thing is if you show your hand a lot of the times in a stock like this that's very thin, the market makers is going to take it to it, and it's going to take your money, right? So don't be that poker player with your hand open, right? Be careful with a stock like this. On a stock like this, it's going to move maybe potentially $10. Even 100 shares can be a lot of shares to have. So that's another thing is a lot of traders can't get right the sizing that they need. And a big part of this is look at the average true range as helping you guys out. So the average true range helps you out in determining like volatility in one candle. And think about it like that, right? The range in the candles, right? So one candle right now, you can in 1 minute maybe get a 36-cent range, right? 36 cents. So thinking about that, I have to sometimes, if I'm on a 1 minute, manage and look at the risk as 2 times the average true range. So in this case, on a stock that's moving that fast, maybe I got to risk 76 to 80 cents here to take this trade. So thinking about that, I can use that in my sizing to know what the size level that I need. I am a new trader, so I will call it dumb luck when I think a stock will go up, and it does. Of course, I just stare at it, and it like a deer in headlights. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like that, dude. Be safe out there, my friends. 9:30, here it is, guys. I'll be watching Tesla. Tesla's on my radar, but right now I'm just watching the overall market here, guys. Let's have fun. Let's stay safe. Like always, no need to trade the first minute. If that's your game, hey, power to you. I always like to hang out for a second, get smart, get focused, know what stocks are moving, and then start making decisions. But you guys know what time it is. Put it loud, because it's time. Traders, let's go. Let's go. All right, traders, let's see what we can come up with today. Ready to get after it. Ready to see what we can do. Let's go. Get that money today, traders. Oh. Buy to the downside right out the gates here. Looking at the VIXY. You guys know it. The VIXY. All right. We're going to be taking scalps early on. Trying to be taking a little bit of a cushion attempt. And I also got the limited account. Don't forget the limited account, team. They're going to take that from you pretty soon. I don't know, man. I've been hearing rumors both ways. I'm pushing to keep it, but you know how it is out there, guys. SMCI also big spike out the gates, guys. Looks like something's going on here. Talking about a lot of GPUs and stuff. And of course, it's done a split. So keep your eyes on this bad boy. Has potential to make a spike towards the even 48s if we have a good day. SMCI, nice spike out the gates here, guys. NVIDIA have a decent day right here. I'm looking at what's up today right now, guys. A watch list that we created on October 2nd has some names to watch, right? I'm watching right now on that. I'm seeing SMCI leading the VIXY, having a decent time. NVIDIA up also. AMD pullback right out the gates, expecting this action, right? We're looking for pullbacks on the hourly support right now around the 170s. I'm looking for a little bit lower than it is right now. It's at 171. Tesla straight down out the gates. Q's coming down a little bit strongly here. We'll look for a little bit more takedown here. Deere pulling back there. Pakar on a kind of hold of that 103. We'll look to see what happens there. I got to go check the swing trade. I have these deep in the green, so I need to go take a look to see what's going on here. MSOS going in the red here for me. That's one thing I did need to go in and protect here. So, of course, you guys know it. Multiple accounts, got to focus first on the swing trade. Make sure that that's all good here. Definitely going to get an approach here for MSOS to break down, and that's not what we want to see. Could be coming back down there towards the 80s, so got to be able to risk a little bit here today. I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger risk here on this one. I'm going to go down towards the 88s. That's risking about 188. Look at Pakar, though. 420s in the green. Looking good there. But I also got to be very careful on this because a really bad day for Deere, and this could easily come right back down. Big day for it on Pakar. Look where it's at, guys. Easily could come back to the 9 EMA, which is a move back to 101. I'm at 100. So I'm just considering, hey, is it going to continue moving or do I take the money and run? Biggest thing is securing some cash. So what I'm going to do here is secure some cash, right? So where can I secure some cash? I'm going to secure about 200. So it's at 368, but I'm looking for about $1,000 on this name, right? I move back towards like 105. And this is going to be looking really good. So 105 is like 700. So I could see this top going to like 107, 108, and that's $1,000. So we'll see what happens on that one. Let's keep it moving. Let's go back to the day trading action and see what's going on in the market. What's going on in the sectors is more important here. What's moving? I see energy to the upside. So energy continuing, technology just slightly up. Everything else in the red, financials in the red today, healthcare in the red, defensive in the red. What looks bad here? Let's take a look here. Industrials look like they're ready to pull back here. So just be careful. Big sign for me would be a breakdown in Lockheed Martin. That would tell me to take my money and run in Pakar, because that could easily be a sweep back. I'm watching Lockheed Martin right now. Lockheed Martin on a pullback on the hourly. It's been in sideways consolidation. This is another one that you can watch for a move. I know it's expensive, but when Lockheed Martin moves up, it moves up like 10, 15 bucks up. So that's another thing to keep in mind, right? So right now on the daily chart, it's not moving much. It's moving like maybe about $9, but when it breaks out, look at the last breakout here. It was about 86 to, it's about $25 on the breakout. So I'm watching this on the daily because it's in a nice little consolidation. Just made an attempt to break out above the 608. Keeping this on the radar today. Lockheed Martin back through 607 would be looking interesting. And that would keep it going on the XLI too. So put an alert at 607. Gets back there, something that I want to look at. That will also tell me that maybe RTX is making a little bit of a move, things like that, right? Boeing is actually up right now, guys. Is there maybe some labor situations kind of coming to an end there? Because Boeing's getting a spike here, guys. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but definitely Boeing. A quick little spike out the gates today. Nice little recovery about the 156. Energy leading, technology. Cyclical is definitely pulling back today. Is this finally downside coming back in for Macy's? It could be, guys. It could very much be. It's 1, 2, 3 attempts trying to make that fourth attempt towards the 16. Could be pulling back a little bit towards the 1550s and 1530s today. Also taking a look at XLF, the financials, to see if those pull back. Of course, we know how they've been weak, but got a little bit of some strength just recently. Look at JPM going to the upside. I'm not betting to the downside on that. That looks like strong action coming back in here. SPY coming right back to the top end. VIXI having a couple of topping action here. So now I'm looking at it as potentially coming right back down. It's maybe a fake out to the upside here. So just watching it here for potentially shorting the VIXI. And I like the VXX. That's been a really good vehicle for me, guys. So watching it here to make an attempt to the breakout on the upside and then stuffing the bulls. Nvidia just took off, guys. That's my sign for the VIXI short. All right, just got to keep it really tight when I'm trading this type of trade because it's very quick on the first action and then it goes. So there it is already getting that drop. So I'm trying to catch up here, guys. Quick drop at 54s. I'm going to go with 100 here. Looking to add on pullbacks here on the VIX. SPY going towards the upside. Q's trying to make a break to the upside. Nvidia is the one that's strong, definitely for sure on that action. Nice move back to the 127, and then AMD is one to watch also, of course, today. AMD is on the pullback right now. Went to the 170. So AMD made that pullback towards 170. I like that pullback towards 170. Now starting to recover. That was the hourly spot to look for. It was quick there, though. So looking at it now, guys, I like this action here as it starts to come back. AMD looking good as it starts to recover there. Not a bad not a bad approach right now. Let's see if I can get 170s again to show up there on any pullback. Will be looking really good, and that's going to be that third kind of bottoming. So I'm looking for an attempt here where we get this kind of action off of this, and then it starts to come back. So one more attempt back down to that 170 because I can't jump up here at the 171. Could go for the 172 kind of move right now, but watching right now to see what happens on the Qs. Qs looking like it wants to come right back down, so be careful out there. You could get a move right back up. Limited account going to come back here and be careful here because I am going to get a little bit of a spike, it seems like. Got to be careful as this approaches the upside breakout. All right, got to go ahead and watch here. Got the limited account right now on. I'm down a little bit on this one, but looking to see if it just rejects this 5420s. All right, 25s looking good as it starts to spike. I'm going to short it in a second and take a quick risk here. All right, shorted it a little bit more. Going slower in the smaller account, but this is the limited account, VXX short. There goes AMD for that 170 again. Tesla coming back here a little bit. That's one to watch for a potential trade today. So I'm watching it, looking for it to start making its comeback. But right now on the hourly support around the 246 for Tesla. There's a spike there in the VXX. So going to watch the Qs here to see what's happening. Qs look like they're pulling back here, so just be careful. We'll see if it really get a takedown. Takedown's back through the 485 right now. But let's see if it just a little bounce here. NVIDIA looking strong right now. Energy up. Technology just slightly up. A lot of things are in the red right now. So utilities is the main thing. That's a big flush down in utilities, guys. So be careful out there. This could be based on the hurricane outlook, and XLU definitely taking a hit here. That could help oil actually get a spike today. So energy doing really well on the upside, guys. So XLE starting to recover there. Slumber J just pulled back here off the 46, now to 45.70s. Doesn't look too bad on the daily chart either. This is ramping up, but could be on a little bit of a pullback day. We'll find out here. VXX right back down here. So just keeping a very close eye on the market, guys. A lot of action back and forth here. It just tried to make an attempt to the breakout. We'll watch to see if it breaks down back through the 5410s for the ads. SPY's up, but the Qs are down a little bit here. So looking to see what's going to go into the green here, guys. All right, the big ad is through the 5406 on the downside, but also, of course, got to have the protection ready for this. If it does come back up through, let's say, 5440s, I'll be out on this for about 5441s is my risk here. So 60 bucks on the risk side. Smaller size, 200 shares. If it comes down and breaks down, I'll size up towards another 500, so I'll be at 700 with the limited. Now going to go to the main account and go trading. This is just one setup, right? Got to be careful here as I get this approach. It could have a little bit of a stop out chase. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to get my stop right here. Qs did make a down attempt here though, so just be careful. There it is. It hit my stop there out on the limited account, down about $66 on that. The Qs did make a down attempt there. I'm going to look to see if there's any stock that I can catch on the pullback and seeing if the Qs start making its way back up. VIX's on an up approach, but it doesn't seem like a real breakout to me. It just seems like it's just trying to catch some traders early. So I'll be watching it. Of course, that's the way that I see it right now. We'll see what happens. And you see I pulled back right back below it. So could have just been a little bit of a stop hunt right at the top end. Lockheed Martin just gave me that up move approach. So that's a good sign there for the Lockheed Martin and other trades. Look at that Lockheed Martin getting strong there. So I like this approach here. I'm looking at Lockheed Martin. I never traded it on like the bigger account, but I might try it right now, guys. The biggest thing with Lockheed Martin is you got to be careful with the spread. The spread is very hard to trade on something like this. So what do you got to do? You got to come after it very small with different sizing. All right, guys, putting out some orders for Lockheed Martin here. All right, putting out what's called the ladder approach here. So trying to get pullbacks back to 606 and 605.20s. All right, orders are out there for pullbacks here. Just need a pullback on Lockheed Martin here. Going to go looking at other trades too. We'll see if I get some fills here, guys. VIXY starting to come back down. I'm looking at potentially shorting it here. The XX is another one that I like. I already got out on the main account. Might come after it here. On the limited account, I might come after it on the main account here. AMD coming back up. NVIDIA strong. That's the one I like. Also, SPY coming back. VIXI starting to come back down. I'm going to look at it here, guys. Main account, I might go shorting 1,000 here. All right, guys, shorting 1,000. Oh, got the VIXI. Sorry, wrong one. So I got to add a little bit more. Made a mistake there, but I could still trade it. It's just a smaller spread there, so I got to be bigger sized. Got to go more like 2,000 or 3,000 and then add to 5,000 as it comes down through the 1334s. So right there, I got 2,000 shares there. Above the 44s and I'll get out. Getting its opportunity to add another 1,000 here. And look for 41s if anything. Looks good already here. Just looking for a little pop here to get it, add another little bit. I want to see AMD come back up ramping, Tesla come back up. Those are the two names, like NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla are big names that I'm watching right now. VXX would have been a little bit better here, but we'll see what happens. Nothing filled there for Lockheed Martin on the pullback. Still looking at Lockheed Martin, but no fill there on the pullback. Thinking about canceling those Lockheed Martin. Tesla coming down there a little bit by threatening the down move. Looking good here in the VIXI right now. In a second, I'm going to size up. And then once I size up, though, I got to be like break even or very small on the risk. Might get an attempt back here. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. So you see this on the 5-minute. So you can see here we've made an attempt 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to break that 44. Back through that 44, I got to be very careful. But back through this 1330s and we can finally get some downside collapse. That's why I'm watching it more on that 5-minute. It's going to be important in the next like 5-10 minutes to see if we get this up action in the Qs and SPY. Limited account, I want to go buying AMD right now, but I'm going to be a little bit careful. AMD or Tesla, I kind of like on the pullback there. All right, like that last rejection right there off that 9 EMA. So in a second, I'm going to add and take my swing in the VIXI. Okay, 36. All right, stop add at 36. If it comes back there, I'll be adding. I don't want to add up here. I want to add when it starts to go in my direction, and I'll add another 2,000 and then look to maybe add one more 1,000. Got to watch the Qs in the SPY like a hawk, guys. How we doing out there, traders? Sorry, I'm being a little bit focused on my action today. It's one of those days. How we doing out there? SRRK is a beast. Shane. How is that thing doing? Woo, SRRK up there towards 30. Oh my God. That's a hard trader right there. All right, there. This VIXI is where I like it, guys. Let's see what happens on the ads. I'm going to go and take the limited in AMD. I'm going long on AMD in a second in the limited account. Made me money last time. All right, guys, just took a long there on AMD. Want to add a little bit here on the pullback. and then I'll just risk. All right, already above the 170 here. I'm going to take a little bit more here. Nah, it rejected me. Get a little more. Nope. All right, guys, risk on there for the limited account. We'll look for AMD to make it right back to the top end, back towards 172.66. That'll be a nice 274 trade, risking about right now about 68 with 100 shares. Going back to the account here. Main account getting this approach to the upside. The Qs and the SPY trying to break down. It's going to be a lot of, to me, on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the main stock holding us up right now. Got to be careful here. This is that attempt to do the breakout here. So just got to watch it here on the 5 minute. Make sure it's a wick, not a breakout. $550s, $220s, that's definitely an out. SPY looks like it's trying to break down here, guys, so just be careful. We are seeing the weakness right now in the SPY. They're getting that downside attempt here for the breakdown. We'll see what happens here. NVIDIA is on the pullback also, so just watch it out there, guys. Definitely seeing the SPY trying to do the breakdown there. The big thing is, how are the big boys? Can the big boys kind of catch a little bit here? Watching it. Apple's down. Actually, Apple's a little bit green. I need Apple to come back up with NVIDIA and maybe Google to kind of catch. Amazon pulling back fast. Tesla is dragging the market also, so there's some bigger boys that are really dragging right now, so that I think that needs to change. We'll see what happens on the big boys. Definitely getting a drag on those stocks. NVIDIA is an interesting one right now on that pullback of 126. So it's a tight pullback, but it's a nice looking stock right now that is trying to make a break to the upside, right? Of course, it has the trend line approach right here on that 126. A lot of traders watching that 126 right now. Let's see if it can catch that 126, go right back up. Big C playing back and forth here, guys, so just got to be careful. Five minutes has that attempt to go to the upside, but it's just playing within this range. We'll see what happens. Does it play to the upside here? Keeps rejecting in the 44s to 45 range. That's where we got to be a little bit careful. 42 to 45 range there. Back at 35s here, guys, and I'll add another 3,000 shares. I just needed to break down here and start giving me that first momentum. Let's see if the Qs can make this move right back up here, and AMD can take that move right back up. I think I did just get stopped in the limited once. I think I might go for another one here. Yeah, I'm going to go for one more trade there on AMD for that recovery here. Could go for the VXX also. I like the VXX here. in the limited account. I'm going to go for that one. Risk $100 here. I can't even get that much. Let's go. Get 500 here. Just wait off on the limited account here. Going to go back to the main account and just watch this action here. To start watching, looking for the breakdown here. Q's trying to come back up, but to get rejected at the VWAP there. It's a big rejection there at the VWAP. As you can see on the 5-minute, you're trying to make your way back through this line, but you keep rejecting at that line. Looking to see if we can get through that on the green to the upside. Let's see if we get that back up there and makes it a move towards the 486. Apple's one to watch there. It's still hanging out above VWAP. Could make a move to 226 today. It's on a nice little pullback too for a move back towards like 228 on a swing. Looks good there on Apple. That's why I like the VIXY short today, guys. I'm just gonna watch it here. It's gonna approach, and then I'm looking for a fast move up on the Qs. So I just gotta risk and be smart here. And then at that point, if I do get $200 loss, it's fine, because a trade in the green with this size that I'm trying to take is $1,000 easily. All right, what's up? SRRK, done for the day already. Woo! Broke my plan on Amazon, short, took profits, took partial profits. So let one risk, one reward on the trade. Better to stay out. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Partials are tough, man. I think the stop loss is one thing that I've been using that's been helping me, but it's not easy. It really isn't. SRRK looking for the breakout above the 30s there. SRRK is doing pretty well. Tesla catching a little bit at the 245. That's a good sign there for me. Even though we're looking like we're trying to break out here. I cancel my stop right now because I want to take some pressure off the short side of things. Here it goes for the approach here, guys. Got to be careful. Q's coming back up is a good sign. Okay, starting to see that action here. Let's see if they really could take it. Tesla's another one to watch. Could trade some Tesla to the upside here too. It still looks interesting there. Off the 245. We'll see if it starts to come back. 248s. Easily. Could see that. AMD starting to catch a little bit there. Go to the limited. Now wait till we start to see some good upside there. I'm just focusing on the VIXY, just making sure I don't get caught. Lockheed Martin never came back. Oh, it's starting to. It just hasn't hit my entries. Still like it. Come on. Come on, Lockheed Martin. Come get me. All right, I'll focus on the VIXY. I'm canceling those. Big levels to watch here. The Q's trying to make their way back, but they just quickly got rejected again at the VWAP. So that's a scary sight for me, at least. At VWAP rejection, not what I want to see. I need to see quick sweeps back through that 485 here. If not, gonna have to take that first hit here in the VIXY. Nvidia tried to make this move back through 126 and got stuffed. SRRK up there towards 3079, almost 3080. That thing is strong, but could fall like a rock back down to 25. Lockheed Martin right back up, so gonna have to step up to the plate if I want that one. Tesla trying to come back here. Q's trying their way. Come on, Q's. Let's go. Let's catch that buy now. Big level to watch off of the 485.25 here. Now we could make a quick sweep to 484s. So let's see it. 485.07, 485.08. Let's go back. Right back to the green days. Say the grass is greener on the other side. Find out here. Ooh, look at that slowdown right on that VWAP. Right as it wicks through, goes to the 30s and then stops. Not looking good, at least on those rejections. Definitely some selling going on in that 485. So got to be a little bit careful here, guys. Trying to go back up, but it can't get it. And when it can't, that's not a good sign. It could be quick sweeps down to the support. Definitely back through that kind of the 48s. I just got to get out. Not going to pressure it there. There's the Q's coming right back up for it. Let's go, Q's. Just quick sweep to the 486. That's what I'm looking for here. We'll see if we get it. I'm going to step up to the plate in the VIXY. All right, nice move into above the VWAP. Now need to see like Tesla, Nvidia go back to the high, right? So Nvidia is a good play, and AMD starting to rebound a little bit. So I'll look for an AMD rebound here in the limited. Let's go to it. Let's see if I can get it now. All right, just grabbed another little bit there. I took a little bit of a hit earlier. I'm down 138, but I'll look to bounce back. Taking risk right off the low there. So I'll risk off the low there. I'm going to go pay attention and see what happens now in the VIXY. Q's right back up. See it? SPY right back up. That's good signs. Good signs. All good signs here. All right, first move down is starting to come down here. I like where it's at. I'm adding another 1,000 shares. I got 3,000, about to add another 2,000 more. $36, I'll add another 2,000 more. Got to watch the Qs. That's the danger zone, right? So the Qs and SPY can stay strong now. We're looking good in the VIXY. So just got to keep watching the Qs and the SPY to see if the signal goes to the upside. Big part of me is watching NVIDIA right now. And so that's going to be one of the stocks that I think we got to keep a very close eye on. See if we can get that up day. Feels like today will be a down day. Okay, that's good to feel, Nando, because the truth is that both sides are being played right now. I think that's the truth. The reason why I'm looking at up day right now is just mainly I'm seeing that action in NVIDIA. I know that a lot of people are trying to play AMD and Tesla out the gates here. So it seems like attention went away from NVIDIA, but the SPY is trying to come back. It's going to be all about these levels in the next, I think, like 10, 20 minutes here. On the Qs, it's going to be an important one if we can hold the VWAP on the pullback. So look how we're coming back to the VWAP here. If it can hold that, not break 485s right now, that's a big watch right now on the Qs. Can you get back above 485.50s here and start making your way to the top end? So you see you're getting tests there. And you get the move right back up there. So that's a good sign. Good sign. Still hanging out here in the VIXY. All right, guys, just set up there for 2 cents below the 36. I'm going to also short another 2,000 shares. So just trying to, I'll probably do it at 1333. So back towards the support. So I'm just setting up. If the move goes right back, quick motion, I'm short, and just nailing onto that. But at that point, I'll be break even. Right now, I'm in the risk with a controlled amount. And that's what needs to happen. Right here, this is the attempt down here for me that I got to be a little bit careful of. I can see it already coming in. Let's see what happens. There's the Qs coming back towards that 485. Really want to see them kind of hold on to this 485. It can even wick there, but it shouldn't really close back below 485 on a 5-minute basis, at least the way that I see it. See, it's trying to reload there. Now, I would love to see this candle go back to green on the candle, and that's going to be a good sign, a turnaround here around the 44s. Just got to be careful, right? Get out if I need to. I can take the hit, just can't take the big smack, right? So AMD coming down there, not looking good there. AMD breaking fast to the downside. 484.80s here. Q's trying to undercut there. Let's see what happens. Still no stop place here. I'm just holding it, just looking to see what happens, seeing if we can make a move back above the 485s. It's going to really depend on that. Definitely getting the pressure on the VIXY right now, as I am down about 180 right now, 190, and could easily be down like 300 on this. SRRK up there now to 31s. Q's trying to break down here, guys. I'm just looking for a quick little sweep back up, and then I could be fine. But this is going to be tough to hold through, guys. It's always tough, ain't it? It ain't easy. They don't make it easy, man. That's for sure. It wouldn't be trading if it was easy, guys. All right, big 5 minutes here. Sleeves rolled up. We'll find out what happens, traders. You guys out there, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget, guys, we start this every day, 8:30. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Of course, we're on all major platforms out there, on X, out there, even on Twitch, guys. So hit the like out there and let me know, guys, what do you guys enjoy in the stream? What do you guys want to see more? Do you guys want to see some different names? Of course, I'm focusing on the major market right now. Because the truth is it's just running the show a lot of the time. So we'll see what happens here. Can we get the up move back in the Qs through the 486 today? That's going to be the big level to watch as we can start to climb back to Friday's high of 487s. Looking to see if we can catch some buys here. If not, it could break down. We'll find out, guys. If really a breakdown is the level where it breaks through this 484.63s, right? So we'll see what happens off this 485. Can we buy enough pullback buyers to get us back up there towards the 486 here? Getting a test on the downside. Got to be careful here. Getting the test. AMD stopped me out again. I'll tell you that much. That normally means AMD's ready to go, guys. At least for me. Here comes the Qs. Let's go, Susie Q. Let's go, Susie Q. Come on, Susie. I don't know why I call her Susie Q, the Qs, but it's Susie. Let's go. Ooh. Testing my heart there with the VIXY. Uh-oh. Seeing some downside leak coming in right now. Dixie's holding well here. Will it just be a little easy symmetrical pattern here? Will they stuff it to the symmetrical patterns? To tell you the truth, this isn't kind of like a little bit of a bearish pattern trying to hold on to here. And we'll see if it gets the recovery. Really, we can kind of draw like this in a bearish way, because I sometimes think about things. All right, I'm a bull right now. How do I see it? Okay, well, it definitely needs to get back up there to the 486, right? How do the bears see it? Well, they're looking for the breakdown through the 484.50s, right? Rejecting the VWAP here and coming right back down through it. So that's the downside outlook here. Let's see what plays out. Is it a move down below into this area? Or is it a move above into this area? Those are the two plays that I see out there right now. Now, the question is, how do you want to play it? And what vehicle do you take to take that trade? All right, looks like we attempted to the downside. Now giving one attempt to the upside here in the 5 minutes. Let's see what happens. I would love to see a quick breakout, right? Because a quick breakout would mean a bigger breakdown in the VIXY for me. But if it's a breakdown just as fast, it's going to be just as fast to the upside. So got to be careful here on both sides of the trade. Canceling my stops right now to try to take off some pressure, but I will need to be ready to add it if needed. Let's see what happens here, guys. I'm definitely feeling the pressure, and that's one thing's for certain. What's up out there, guys? Randa knows it. The old song, the Susie Q. You know it, man. You know it. What's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing out there, traders? We might have to listen to the Susie Q's if we get it today, guys. All right, team. Setting up here now for those stop ad, right? So I got to make sure that I'm ready for those stop ads. They'll trigger through the 35s. Okay, so if I get that trigger at the 35, guys, we're going to be big, guys. 7,000 shares I'm trying to get after today. Let's see what happens here, guys. Q's big rip to the upside. I got to go back to the limited and go take another trade here. VXX is one way to look at this. I could go after that, but I've been going after it on AMD. I need to get back after it on AMD, but we'll find out, guys. On the limited account, I'm just going to leave it off for right now. I'm going to go focus on the main account in the green there for a second. So I just got to pay attention here to see what happens, guys. Let's go. Let's see what happens in the Qs. Can I get that breakout to the upside? We got that first attempt, so let's see what happens here. Back up towards the 44s, and I'm going to get out and look to get back in. So I got to be able to get out and back in just in case we get to this point, right? And so another thing that I've been learning is maybe taking off like a third of the position if it starts to come back after you. So that's another thing that I'll be looking at here. Maybe potentially just buying out 2,000 shares and getting out of the pressure if it does go against me here. It comes down, I'm adding and I'm going for the swing, and then I'm going to break even here and maybe be 1 cent in the red, 2 cent in the red risk. Let's see what happens here, guys. If the Qs go for the breakout, I'll be adding a big amount here. I'm going to actually move the stop one more trigger down. So at 34s versus 35s, because I don't want to keep triggering. All of a sudden, the market maker tries to attack me. Right there, they're trying to separate it out, going in the 34s there. There it goes. I get triggered right now. So I need to see the Qs go for the breakout now. And we'll see what happens here. I'm in the green here. Now we get that first action down here. In a second here, if I can get to the 26, I'll hit the stop, break even. And then we'll be looking really great. Right now, the stop would be about $200 of risk, right? So there we go. We start going in the right direction to the 31s, but I need to see the Qs really break out here. 486 13s. Let's go. Let's go. 486. Let's go. Don't come back to the VWAP on me. Let's get moving here. NVIDIA going back to the highs. I want to see Tesla continue up towards the upside. AMD is the one that I don't see really coming back just yet. Definitely getting the move coming back here, and I'm really big, so I got to really focus in here, guys. Let's see what happens. Can we get the Qs to go right back up? Getting the test back to my break-even spot. So at this point, really keep being careful here, guys. Careful. 39s, and I'm out. Because I got to be careful. I got to be willing to get out with this sizing and get back in. This is the hardest thing when you're in the sizing. Sometimes you're going to take quick hits on both sides. You got to be just waiting, see if you can catch the momentum and time the momentum is what I'm trying to do here. Okay, there's 486.08 on the Qs. AMD's coming back a little bit. NVIDIA's coming back. That's looking good here. Nice little push to the upside on the first reaction. Now it could go back through the 1330s on the VIXI. Let's see the 1330s break here on the VIXI. I don't have the VIXIs up because the Qs is the same thing. Like you see the Qs breaking, I'm looking good. Right back through that 486. So that tells me right now, be careful for a quick sweep down here. Looking at NVIDIA to see if you can break 127, because that would be a really good sign as you're getting more stocks to break highs. That's a really good sign for us that they're trying to take another push to the upside. Q's kind of slowing down a little bit here, so just got to be very careful. All right, 1 cent starting to push down here. Need this to start breaking down here. Q's trying to get back up there. It's a big level on the 486. You can see how it's kind of reloading there. I want to see if NVIDIA can go through that 127 here. Tesla coming back. That's looking good. That's a nice little push back towards 247.40s. AMD coming back a little bit, so that's looking good. Now let's see if NVIDIA could take that 127 here. All right, coming back on me a little bit here. We could get a little bit of some pullback, so you just got to be careful. Got to be willing to get out, get back in. That's okay for me too. All right, getting a test up here as the Qs pull back there, and I'm seeing a little bit of some pullback, so just be careful out there. Looking to see what's going to happen here. Ready to get out if needed, right? That's what the important thing. Always making sure that once you get big sized, you got to be ready to take that hit and get out. Q's coming back a little bit here, guys. They're going to come for another little reload here. Tesla's going strong. That's one that is strong. Not reloading a little bit. Here's that attempt here, guys. So I got to be very careful to get out here in just a second. So I'm going to get this 9 EMA, where the 9 EMA on the Qs in the box, it's going to that box right now. So I got to be careful as the stock comes back at me. Could have already triggered out if I had to stop at the 39s there. And sometimes I need to have that set. So this is where it gets difficult, right? Do I cut it right here at the 1340s and then it comes back down through my level? Or do I hold through at least a tiny amount here? I have to hold a little tiny amount. That's why I talked about it back down through the 1326. Then I can break even stop. It's very hard to break even stop on when it's 1 cent away, because that's how you get caught, right? So right now they're trying to stop me out, trying to get me back out of this. I'm trying to hold in based on the action that I'm seeing in majority of stocks, not just one or two. So I got to hang on for right now. Unless I see Tesla take a hard hit to the downside or Nvidia take the hard hit to the downside, I kind of got to hang in for a second here. Definitely exposing myself now. Now I'm risking 440s, right? So the risk is there. When you go and size up, understand you're going to get to that point, right? So right now I'm at that point, right, where I am risking. Now it's more what happens here on the Qs. And the Nvidia and AMD and Apple, those names that are green, can they stay green and lift the market higher? Q's pulling back here. Now catching a little bit. Let's go. Let's go take that 486. Let's make a nice little attempt to the upside here. Let's go. Oof. This is getting hard to hold here, guys. I'm at the brink of cutting out. Right now, I'm watching it, guys, and it's really getting dangerous here. I got to see the Qs trying to take that 486 here. You can see it on the VIXI here. It's trying to break above the 90 MA. It's doing a wick here, but it could easily stop me out. And next thing you know, I'd lose big. So that's just the way it goes here. Got to take the shots. Right now, I'm down about 375 here. Looking for that cut right back towards that 1330s, though. If that happens and we start going to the 26, be a big. So got to take the shot here, guys. Of course, you guys know how I am on the accounts. I'm trying to take a shot here in the main one. Let's see what happens here. Big part is I'm watching that Nvidia. What will happen there? Nvidia is trying to get back up through that 127. Has been hitting it. Will it go through? Will it just lift off here through that 127? That's going to be a big watch there for me. There's 126.88. That's a good level to look at here. Let's see if it can go through it. 127.87. Qs can go through that 486 and go through the highs. Watching the SPY. Can we get a new high on the SPY? 572s. Can Apple take some lead to the upside? 225.50s. Can we get Microsoft to come back up? There it is. Amazon's one that I need to see come back a little bit. That's definitely dragging. So Amazon moved down there. It tried to make the move, tried to make the breakout there. Be careful, guys. That was a little bit of a fake out there. At least it seemed like it was a fake out. Nvidia tapped up to 126.97 here. I want to see Nvidia take 127 now. Now I got to be careful because this is going to pressure now. And boy, oh boy, is this pressure here, guys. This is tough trading here, guys. The SPY is now coming back here. The Qs are coming back here. We got to be careful on both sides of this trade now. Tesla's coming back. That's another sign of concern for me. SRRK finally starting to break down. So if you were looking to short that one, that's starting to break down. I'm trying to hang in there right now, guys. This is going to be it right here. We'll see what happens. Probably the trade of the day there for me, guys. It's probably going to be a make it or trade it here. Let's see what happens. I'm hanging in there, but Nvidia pulling back off that 127 doesn't make me feel confident. Trying to catch the 90 MA again, but could break it here. There it goes back for one more attempt here. Come on, Qs. 1, 2, 3. You know the rule of 4 here. Let's go. This is the attempt here. Make it or break it here. Be careful out there, traders. It's going to get rough here in just a second. Hope you came in prepared today because the pressure's on. Pressure's on. The heat is on. The heat is on. The heat is on. Feeling the heat today. Susie Q, won't you do it? Won't you do it, Susie Q? Oh, NVIDIA, won't you do it? Won't you take out that 127? Oh, good Lord. NVIDIA, you're just playing with me now. You're playing with my heart. You're playing with my heart here. The Q's playing with my heart over here. 486.26. We're on that breakout look. Now, can they break it out? There's an attempt. We start to push higher. Can we get some real buying? NVIDIA 127.18. AMD coming back a little bit. Oh, this is tough. SPY not coming back with it. SPY is not on the high. That's the one thing I'd be a little bit concerned about. I'm looking at the SPY. It's not on the high there. Oh, this is tough, man. This is tough. Tough action today, guys. Coming back. That's not a good thing there. I want to see that expansion. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Doesn't look good. Tesla pulling back a little bit there. The SPY still not giving us the move. That's the one thing that I'm seeing here. SPY's down. Qs are making the move up, but the SPY's making the move down here. Be careful out there, traders. I'm seeing that action. That's a little bit concerning to me. And right back to 486. So really careful now on the Qs as we reject the 486.40 breakout. The Qs is what's really, the SPY is what's holding us back here. So I'm going to watch the SPY really closely here. The Qs are trying. It's the SPY that's trying to get through a little bit of a pullback attempt here and seeing if it can go back up here. And look how the SPY is pulling back already here. So watching the SPY to see if I can get any type of lift here in the SPY back to the highs. That could be the move here, but definitely got to watch it. On the 1 minute, you can see it just did a wick to 571.20, back up towards 572, and then the Qs can have that probably that follow through here. So it's going to be a little bit of a tight trade here. You got to be careful on both sides of this trade, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we'll see what happens here. Can the Qs just take off? Can the SPY just take off, guys? I'm actually, believe it or not, willing to add on this trade if it goes back down through the 1330s. So we're going to take a big time trade here to see if I can get it. Just needed to come back down through the 30s. It's the SPY. The SPY is going to be a big test here for me. If it can just take a quick move to the upside here towards 572, going to be looking pretty decent here to see some recovery. Back down through 571 and it goes down. Here we go. So here it is, guys. 1030. Will it take it? The SPY is trying to get back above that 571.60s. Just tapped up and then right back down. So we're watching it right now on that level. 571.50s, rejecting it there. Let's see if it can get back above that. That's an important level. You see that the 9 EMA is right there, right? We need to recover that 9 EMA and start to head towards the top end of that Bollinger Band, which is the orange that you're seeing there. VWAP is below it, so it could go for a reload there, but I'm looking for the move right back towards the upside here. Got to be careful with the pullback in the Qs as you're seeing the SPY head right back down here, guys. So that could be the downside action move coming in here. You've got to be careful as the SPY is heading down pretty fast here. Let's see if it recovers, but definitely just made an attempt to the downside. Let's see what happens. The VIXY, I like it at least because it stays tight, and like on that action, it moves 1 penny, right? The VIX overall, the VXX moves a little tighter, moves a little bit more. The volatility in it. This is tough to hold right now, guys. But I'll tell you one thing: you don't make money if you ain't willing to take some swings. And right now, I'm taking a swing. That's for sure. All right, SPY, what you got for me today? Let's see what happens. I'm looking at the change from the open, and That doesn't look great, but I'm looking at potentially what could go green. Utilities, communication services, basic materials are in the green. So take a look there to see what's green. Industrials are green. Talked about Lockheed Martin, names like that. We'll see it. We'll see it. Because if that can go back to green, healthcare can go back to green, defensives, we could see some green. We're seeing things come back, but it needs to catch here and go right back up towards that upside. We're back at that kind of VWAP approach here. And if it breaks VWAP, we could be heading towards a 15-minute low here. So got to hold on, but it ain't looking good right now. Canceling my stop right now just to take a look at the kind of the action. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one today. That's for sure. Woo! Trying to hang on here, guys, but it don't look good. Watching the SPY, man, like a hawk. The Qs are like, yo, SPY, can you make it back here? If you can make it back here, I'm willing. But if you can't, I'm not. All right, guys, let's see what happens here. About to see the ramp up. Tesla's coming down, so that's not good signs for me. I see Tesla coming down fast. That's one thing I do see coming down fast. I'm looking to see if NVIDIA can hold the 127 pullback. It's pulling back and just barely holding on right now. SPY is trying to make an up move here, but now the Qs are pulling back. So that's going to weigh heavy on the SPY. So I'm just looking here to see what happens with tech. Can we get any of these tech names to kind of hold on here? If not, the SPY could make a quick move down here. It's trying to turn on the 5-minute to a green candle, but needs to hold on here and get back through that 571.60. I'll show you guys that in just a second here, but we got to be careful on both sides here, guys. Look at that. Look at the 5-minute. You can see here it's trying to make this attempt back into a green candle to go back up to the highs, but boy, oh boy, it's in a little bit of a chop zone here, trying to hold on to this prior resistance. Definitely would like to start seeing it hold this 571.30s now. It's gonna be a tough one now. See what happens here. Can NVIDIA lift all tides? We'll see. It's a little bit of a pullback, guys. Got to be careful here. SPY pulling back, Q's pulling back. I will say that. I'm watching the SPY to see if it can reload here. It's a tough trade today, guys. Tough indeed, man. All right, guys, it's 10:30, 8 LTM, shorting small size. All right, that's not a bad one. Not a bad one to trade there. We don't just get trading tips here. There's also entertainment. That's for sure. You'll get some entertainment. That's for sure. All right, guys, let's see what happens. Pullback is happening on NVIDIA that I'm not too happy about. So it's just tough right now, guys. It's tough because the SPY is trying to make the move, but it can easily spike back. VIX's spiking a little bit. Got to be careful here, guys. There's SPY going to make one more attempt for the breakout. The Qs are also joining in, so that's actually not bad, but it's going to be quick here, guys. Let's see the SPY. The SPY is the one I want to see get the 572 move. Because there's more, like sectors green right now is technology over the last hour. The There's a lot of things in the SPY that's a little bit red here. So the SPY can make the move. I think it's the real strong sign for me. And I'm seeing the pullback, guys. That's not looking good there. Quick pullback in the Qs, quick pullback in NVIDIA. Not a good sign at all. About to get out here, guys. Tough to hold. Seeing that hard action down right now. This is usually when the shorts start to come in here, so just be careful out there. SPY makes one more attempt here. Let's go, SPY. Let's go. Ramp. Let's go, SPY. Come on. Papa don't got all week, guys. Papa don't got all week. Let's get it. Come on, Jamon. All right, guys. Looks like we're getting that test again to the downside here. So be careful, guys. Any hard action could pull it in any which way here. So there's a quick attempt to the downside here. Let's see if it scoops back. AMD trying to recover. Good move on AMD would be back to the 170. Then you get that kind of inverse head and shoulders attempt. SPY making a down attempt here, looking to see that it can catch here and get right back up. Whew. It's a tough day, guys. Tough day here. All right, guys, we're about to get out of this 5-minute candle. I think we got to keep a very close eye on this because it's starting to approach a really nice breakdown level. 571.26 could be approaching back down towards 570.90 in a hurry here. Got to be careful out there. Man, this is not an easy day, man, to hold on. It's one of those days where like my hand's on the trigger and it's been on the trigger for a long time, guys. My index finger's starting to hurt. That's how much it's been on the trigger. That's where you got to be careful. That's the main thing. I would know in a day where, let's say, I didn't have to push it so much on its account for like the week that's coming up. Would take an approach here to maybe size down since I'm only like a couple pennies away, since it's just not going in a direction. But the truth is that we're right now in a very good area for this kind of swing. So that's why I'm taking the swing at least. Here's the SPY trying down for the swing, guys. Be careful. We're going to get this attempt now for the breakdown, and it could be quick. You could start seeing some breakdowns. AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla. Watching those types of names here. Is this just a wick? And you know wicks are tricks. Or is this the upside move here? Be careful out there, traders. Looks like the hourly's holding on the VIX here. Oof. Downside attempt for sure there. Trying to wipe me out here. This is wicked. Wicked, I tell you, wicked. It's been hard to hold the last 20 minutes, guys. All right, guys, in about 10 minutes, we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up at 10:50 today. Got to go get ready to deal with the hurricane. And so I will be able to do a show tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know how Wednesday and the rest of the week is going tomorrow, guys. So definitely going to have to deal with the hurricane issues and things like that. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's see what happens here in the market, guys. Let's see what I get out of it today. Like always, it's always about risk and return. So right now, risking a decent amount, but of course in the green today. And Things can turn around here. Could have a really good green day. So gonna take a shot. That's what it's all about in trading. Nvidia recovering 127, and the AMD going for the 170 move. Can it get it? And Tesla on the big pullback. Can it catch the support here? Can the SPY go back up? And the Qs also. It's going to be tough here. Got to risk it to get the biscuit sometimes. And right now, the biscuit is expensive. I'll tell you that much. SPY trying down a little bit more here. So it's the battle right now. Some stocks looking green in the tech game. That's why I'm staying in it. Right. But oof, it's been hard to hold. Let's just say that much. Small attempt to the downside there. Here comes AMD trying to recover 170, 169.94s, 99s, 170 recovery. Looking good there, guys. I'm going to cancel right now. I'm watching the ad actually here on the downside as the SPY starts to come up here. So going to take a shot here, guys, a big shot here. Let me know, guys, that you guys enjoy me taking shots and describing the price action by just smashing that like. So if you guys can take a second from your day, whether you're on X right now or you're on Twitter or YouTube or whatever you want to call it, or just any of the platforms that were out there, just take a second and hit that like button, hit the like, of course, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm ready to see it. What will happen today? Trade the pool. You guys know what's up. Will it be the bulls up today? I'm hoping for it. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be a tough one here. We get back up there and boom, right back down she goes. That's not a good sign there. Oh boy, AMD got them to that 170, but then it reversed. So, man, I looked away for 1 second there. We were looking great back towards 138s. Now we're going right back up to 1345s here. 1 cent away from getting out here on the VIXY. Hands on the trigger to get out as the SPY takes a down move here. Nvidia tried to get back over 127, now running into a wall. AMD, can it recover 170 here? Can the SPY recover? It's going to be a tough one here, guys. The Wix is wicking, and now it's getting wicked. It's looking like downside break attempt here on the 571 again for the third or fourth time here. So back and forth action here in the 1 minute. Volatility is picking up. Now hold on to your pants here. Find out what you get. That's what it is right now, guys. It looks like to me it's going to be either a loss of 760, could be even a cent over. Look at that. Look how they're spreading it out there for me. They're spreading it out here. About to get out. And this is tough, guys. Tough day. Because the action's like right there too, right? It can come right back, but it's going to be a tough one here. A tough take, too. Could take a hard hit right now. And the truth is, going for the swing today. Going for the swing. Let's find out. 571's on the SPY. It's going to be very vital to hold on. Hold on to me. I'm a little unsteady. A little unsteady. Hold on to me. Come on, SPY. You can do it. You can do it. Let's go. Let's get back up above that 170 on AMD. 127 Nvidia. Let's go. Let's go quickly here. Let's not let the bulls or the bears join in here. Ooh, look at the shake too. You go up, right back down, man. This is dirty here, guys. Be careful out there, guys. They're going to have a lot of people on the trigger here. So a lot of people are just waiting here, just like literally cents away, looking to see what happens. It doesn't look good on the 5 either, right? So if you look at deeper time frames, we should have recovered already. So it's definitely the pressure's on, I think, even on the bulls right now, more than the bears, because you're back below the VWAP, right? And so you need to recover that VWAP at least. And that was that attempt right there. You went right back to the 571.20s to recover VWAP. We didn't recover it here. So got to be very careful here. About to get stopped out. Definitely getting the pressure, seeing that downside available to the market. If it does come in here, it's going to be a quick move to the downside. So let's see what happens. Not looking good. Downside coming back in. Definitely a little bit of chop today, right? We played the chop, and there's definitely some chop out there, guys. So if you take a look here, we essentially are going nowhere from the open. That's where it really gets tough trading, because you went up and down today and didn't go anywhere. I was expecting some direction. When we reclaimed VWAP, we're looking good to hold it here. And now we start to reject. So now it's not looking good. Could come down in a hurry here. Next 5-minute candle comes in 2 minutes. So big 2 minutes here on the 1 minute candles. Let's see what happens. Next 2 minutes, going to be big important here. A lot of times on the 5-minute candles, the last 2 minutes to me are more important than the first 2 minutes. It's weird, but it just works that way. See if we can just get a quick move back to 571.70s. That's a big move, but like to give you that real strong signal from the bottom Bollinger Band to the top end of the Bollinger Band. That's what I'm looking for. Can we get a move from the bottom to the top end of the Bollinger Band to show me the strength that you're coming back? This is a tough day today, guys. Tough day. The way that I look at this trade, though, is that, yeah, I'm holding on, and I've extended the risk way too much, right? But this is the battle of sizing, man. This is the battle, right? You got to be able to get in, get out, take the hits also. So I'm going to keep getting after it, guys, and keep learning the sizing. You guys out there, stick around. You guys can watch and learn from me, right? Wins and losses, right? How I'm trying to approach things, how I'm trying to handle this upsize, right? It's not easy to trade with 7,000 shares. Let's just be honest, guys. And right now I'm looking at if this would really take a hard up move in the SPY, VIXY down move, right? I could add up to maybe another 2,000, maybe go 9,000 shares. I am trying to learn where the wall is and where I can get up to, and then how to play that, right? So you guys out there, hey, tune in, rewind this, learn from it, right? What are the mistakes that I'm making? What are the strengths that I'm making? What can you learn from me? And what do you not want to be able to do? Things like that. The truth is, from every trader, you can learn something, and you can also learn how to not have their weakness, right? All right, let's see what happens here. Next 2 minutes, like I talked about it, we're starting to go back to the VWAP, and we got back to the VWAP, so that's okay there. Now the 5 minute looks like it wants to recover here. Can it recover? It's going to be more about watching it here, guys. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I'm going to wait another kind of minute or two here, but I'm about to wrap it up. And this will be something that I'll definitely let you guys know how it works out. And one of the things that I always talk about is you sometimes got to go through the tough part of the trade, and then you get the good side of it. We'll see what happens today if we get this up action. We'll see if the Qs make the up attempt, right? Look at the Qs now starting to catch that VWAP. Watch for NVIDIA. I'm looking for a strong side of 127 to go through that. AMD, strong move through 170. Tesla, can it come back? I don't know about Tesla today. Apple looks weak too. So doesn't look like the strongest moves right now. Let's see if Microsoft looks like a little bit better there as it's trying to recover off this hourly low. We'll see if it starts to make a move to 418 here. Can we get the upside today? Find out, traders. Find out. That's one thing for certain. It's going to be tough. It ain't going to be easy. And like always, I'll be here battling alongside with you guys. 571, almost 50s, now starting to make the move. But look how it becomes a wick here. So just be careful out there, guys. It's still not done yet. I'm still watching the action here. We're right back towards the 40s here. So definitely got to keep it towards like a 550 risk as it starts to come back. But if the market can make an up move here, I'm going to be looking good here, guys. We'll find out how it turns out. I'll tell you one thing, guys. There's only one way to find out. And that's, of course, stick right here on, of course, Trade the Pool. There's the SPY to the upside, almost to the green, guys. Almost back into the green here as the stocks come right back down here and about to size up here and take a bigger swing, right? Back through the 32s, and I'll take a bigger swing here. Let's see what happens. I'll put the 32 out there. And we'll look to maybe add another 2,000 shares as I'm going to really take up the step here and take a big swing. We'll find out what happens out there, traders. Definitely back into the green now, and we'll see what happens out there. It's not easy out there, guys, but hope you guys enjoyed the action today. Definitely smash the like. We'll see you guys back tomorrow as I get back into the green and almost adding right now. You guys will see the ad. Look at the green there. Boom. Now I just added there. Now, guys, got to go ahead and set break even here. I'm going to put here 1 tick in the red here. Actually, I'll do 3 ticks in the red just in case here, right? So 250 risk here, looking for the downside action to come in here. We'll find out what happens, guys. Be safe out there, traders. And like always, tough trading out there, guys. Look at the SPY come back here, guys. So just be careful out there, guys. Could see a rip back down here. Got to understand what your risk is always. And stepping up to the plate today, 9,000 shares, looking for a big position. We'll find out how it turns out, guys. Much love to you guys. Stay safe out there, traders. We'll see what happens today. Will I get the trade or not? It's going to be a lot dependent on these Qs and SPYs as the battle continues in the VIXI and the market overall. Look at that wick. It was a wick trick. So you got to be careful on both sides here. And we'll see what happens, traders. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Get out of here. Try to stay safe out there, traders. And we'll see what happens, man. Back and forth action. Taking my hat off today, guys. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. Stay safe out there, traders. Like always, right here on Trade the Pool. And check out the limited account. Get after that before they take it from us. I'll see you guys back tomorrow right here only on Trade the Pool, guys.